Alright, this is to Brian of Here's the Deal. He thinks that these people working for the United States Corporation, federal corporation, under 28 USC 3002 definitions of United States, federal corporation, and the states therein, look it up. What does therein mean? Give me a description or an example with the word therein in it, which is the states, which are federal corporations. Therein, that federal corporation, state of X is a corporation. State of X versus a state versus an X state. State's after your, the word state is after the name of your state. Texas, state. Louisiana, state. So go state of X, or use the name of your state where the X is, state of X versus X state. And then look it up. Is state of X a corporation? A territorial jurisdiction? Because X state is not territorial jurisdiction. Territorial jurisdictions, all these jurisdictions, the word jurisdiction is a legal term with a legal definition. Legal definition of territorial jurisdiction. Legal definition of jurisdiction. Natural definition of jurisdiction. The jurisdiction of Texas state, or the jurisdiction of the state of Texas. They're two separate jurisdictions. If they were the same, they would only say one. The state of Texas. That's it. There would be no Texas state jurisdiction. That's one thing in court when you challenge a jurisdiction. Which jurisdiction am I in? The legal jurisdiction under color of law, which is the state of Texas? Or am I under natural jurisdiction, which is Texas state? They know there's two separate jurisdictions. And that's why you got to create affidavits of notice, or notices, if you want to create more than one. Writs of demand. You demand that they recognize, like they're supposed to, your common law rights under the Republic. The regular flag that don't have the gold fringe around it. When you stand up and they tell you to stand up, and that flag behind them has a gold fringe around it, you're standing up for and accepting their color of law, law of legality, jurisdiction, state of whatever. And when you don't stand up, and they ask you why aren't you standing up, you say, I don't stand for that flag. I was never taught about that flag in school. I never pledged an allegiance to that flag. That flag don't stand for the Republic. Now you put the flag out that they do have. You put the flag out that stands for the Republic, the one I was taught about in school, and they don't have that gold fringe around it, then I'll stand up. They do what we want. We're not supposed to let them do what they want. That's the problem. Everybody's letting them do what they want, and it's mainly because you're unintelligent. You're not intelligent on the way the whole system works. You only know what they told you through the media and themselves and the law enforcers that work for them to parrot them and enforce what they want. We can't snatch them up and have them do what we want and arrest who we want in that government. I don't laugh at you. They work for them. They don't work for you. And Wrangler and Van Valiant and Kafar, they're going to stay ignorant to all of this. You know, they're going to do what their masters wants them to do. Stay unintelligent. That's how they can exist, through unintelligent people. Ignorant people. You're ignorant. Now, if you don't want to learn, or if you learn it and you just don't really want to, you just don't believe it or whatever, then you're stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. You can't fix stupid. Well, that's the same thing with retarded. It can't be fixed. No matter how much you teach them or help them or whatever, you can't fix them and make them better. Or you can't fix the stupid, the ignorant that wants to be stupid or just as stupid. You can't fix them with intelligence. They can't understand that. Because they love violence. They love to see people get violent with other people. No matter what it is. Oh, it's necessary. It's just acceptable. Because I want to see people be violent towards other people. I like violence. Well, why don't you watch wrestling? Why don't you watch boxing? Why don't you watch sports that has violence? You got that sports all the time. You got sports all the time with violence in it. Even in racing, when they get out the car, the couple ones that have an argument, a couple people and a few people, and then they get in a fight. You get to see that. There's your violence. People that are willing to go ahead and get violent with each other. So, these politicians, everybody that works for this U.S. corporation under 28 U.S.C. 3002, definition of United States is federal corporation, not federal corporate government, not federal government, federal corporation, business. The government was not supposed to be meant to be a business. Look up what the founders created the government for. In 1789. So, that's how you know. You look at the government the founders created versus which is Washington District. The government that it was in Washington District that the founders created versus Washington's District of Columbia that was created in 1871 under the Organic Act of 1871. And it will show you the difference. It will show you we were changed into something else. Or that government was changed into a municipal corporation of law. Governing over people. Corporate law. Because when they created those new USCs, articles, but called USC too, they call them both articles Article 1, Section 1. Well, there's 1 USC, Section 1. And then the clauses. And if you pull each one up and you read through each one when you want to, Article 1, read, or 1 USC 1. Start reading that first one, Article 1 of the USC. And read everything that's under Article 1. And then the next time, you don't want to go into the next one, it may be a little long. Next day, go into the other one, the second one. And all the way, there's a bunch of them. They create a bunch of them. But you get the first, as many as you can, you'll get the gist of how everything's supposed to work. At least 1 through 100. Oh, but Van Balian and Kafar, Wrangler, and these others, these frauditors, they call themselves what they really are. They're a fraud. Frauditors. So, there you go. So you all take care. Bye, everyone.